Player to player, pimp to pimp.
And you know it. This is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Doing a short video today because we got a big video coming out, I think either Wednesday or Thursday, and it's titled Daniel Jones, the Head Coach Killer, proudly sponsored by Mint Mobile. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I wanted to talk about the quarterback situation because it's going to all kind of tie into the video in the next couple days about Daniel Jones. And I got nothing against Tommy DeVito. And I've decided to rechange his name. Tommy DeVito is now Jersey Shore Tommy. Oh, and I can say this, man, because I'm from Jersey. You know, I've been down the seaside. I've been down to the shore. I know what it's like. But you know what it's time to do? Wait for it. So wait till the beat drops. It's time to put him on the bench. It really is. We're not winning any games with Tommy DeVito. Let's just be perfectly honest. And maybe that is in the infinite wisdom of the New York Giants, the idea that we're not going to win any games with Tommy DeVito. He is what he is. We are who they thought they were. He is a quarterback who is a kid that flamed out at Syracuse, and he turned around and he went to Illinois, had an average career, and is now starting for the Giants out of necessity because everyone got injured. And I just see this, and I'm like, you sometimes just want to be like, Lord, dear Lord, I want to win a game. I want to win one game. And I know that's probably a bad thing to think, the bad thing to say, because of the fact that we some ways want to tank, and let's be honest, we do. If you're not saying that you don't, you're not being honest, because you know you need a quarterback. But for the love of God, can we just get a quarterback in here who can matriculate the ball down the field? Just a little bit? I'm not asking for a lot. And you had the ability the other day, or almost going on 3 weeks now, to go out and get a quarterback. And that was getting Matt Barkley. I'm not telling you Matt Barkley's the answer to anything. He's been in the league since 2023. I'm not telling you he is going to win. I'm not telling you he's going to rattle off 10 wins. But I am going to tell you this. He is a professional quarterback. He's been in the league forever. Started with Philadelphia, went to Arizona, was with the Chicago Bears, with the 49ers, with the Arizona Cardinals, back with the Bengals, back with the Buffalo Bills, and that's why we're going to get into that. He also went to the Tennessee Titans, Carolina Panthers. He went back to the Atlanta Falcons, second stint with the Bills, and then ended up with the Giants. He is a guy that he started 7 games in Chicago in 16, threw almost 60% of his passes, 8 touchdowns, 14 receptions, 1,600 yards. You know, he is a guy that's going to just give you what he gives you, but you know what you have in him. You know he has the ability to throw the ball down the field. He is not going to be overly accurate. This is a guy that's got a 2-5 starting record, but he is a guy that is a professional quarterback. And every once in a while, you can catch lightning in a bottle, maybe for a game, maybe for a series, hell, maybe for 2 series. And why not go with a guy who understands the game, has played the game, has been in the Buffalo Bills offense, has now been in the building for 3 weeks. And like I said, it's not that I have no problem. I have no problem with Tommy Jersey Shore DeVito. I got no issue with the man. I just love this. I just love the dance, man. Again, I'm still wearing my Adidas old school running coat. So I feel like I'm back in the club. I was in Jersey Shore in the 90s. So I'm not even going to talk about that. But why not just throw Barkley a bone and give him a shot? He played 5 games in Buffalo in 2020. Yeah, he only went for 11 for 21 for 50% of his passes for a touchdown interception. Longest pass was 56 yards for 197 yards. But give him a chance. Let's give Hope a chance. If you're going to lose with the thought process of maybe we're trying to win. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you think about it for a minute, if you're just going to, you just kind of need to throw caution to the wind once in a while. You got to try to figure out something different because the Giant ship is sinking. And it's not Tommy DeVito's fault whatsoever. I mean, let's not even think that I'm trying to blame Tommy DeVito for anything, because I'm not. The poor kid came in and, you know, it just is what it is. You know, and it's just weird, some of the things that they're doing now. And now with this Buffalo thing, Buffalo had the bad loss yesterday to the Denver Broncos. And I've said it, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to call it right now. If Sean McDermott gets fired in Buffalo, Brian Daboll will force his way out of the New York Giants situation. I would say force his way out of New York, but last time I checked, Buffalo was in New York. He will force his way out of here and end up in Buffalo. Because of the fact that I'm not saying he never really ever wanted to be here, but what I am saying is this. We all know he wanted the LA job. He wanted the LA job over the Giant job because why not? You have Justin Herbert. I would want the LA job too. But at the end of the day, he went with his buddy Shane, and now he's mired in a 2-8 season where he's kind of lost control of the team. He's kind of lost control of the locker room. Hell, we know he's lost control of the sideline. And I get concerned that he may also be a little bit losing control of his coaching staff because of the issue that he had with Wink that he so vehemently denies even having. So this is what we got. This is what we got to kind of look at. And you can have all these writers out there that are going to sit there and say, well, Daniel Jones is taking ownership of this disaster. And, Brian Daboll did come out and say he's the one person to blame, but that's what you're going to say. That's what a good coach is going to say. But, he has his Judgian moments. Joe Judge was, I got to look at the tape. Brian Daboll is, well, it all falls on me. And I just get to a point that you're like, when will the New York media and the Giant press corps figure this out? It's not that difficult to figure out that he's got his own coach, Big Daboll. It's all on me. And I've always said this to my son. And I used to do this in business as well. A lot of times there's just people that want to point blame. They just want to point blame. And at the end of the day, they spend more time trying to figure out the culprit and the issue than they do actually just fixing the problem. Now, one of the things that I used to do is I would always just admit to everything. Something would go wrong at work. I did it. I'd be in a conference room. I remember I told the story a long time ago. I was in a meeting in a conference room with all senior leadership, and something went horribly wrong. And then everyone was talking about what went wrong and who did it and this. So I said, I did it. I said, you know what? It was me. I did it. And now that we have a person to blame, can we fix the situation? And I think that's kind of what Daboll's just doing. Yep, it's me. And then when you have that, and when you throw it out there that it's you, you've kind of diffused the situation. Because once you admit to something, people normally just kind of sit there and just kind of turn around and be like, well, there's nothing else I can say because he admitted to doing it. So we're just going to leave it alone. I think that's what Daboll is kind of doing. Just admit it. It all stops with you. It all starts with you. It all stops with you. It's my fault. There's no one else to blame. Now let's stop talking about this situation. And the New York media eats it up. I really, truly think some of the issues that we have with this team are the people that cover this team, some of the content creators that have this inability to point out flaws and issues, and they only point out the flaws and the issues when they're self-evident. Because everything is awesome before the season starts. Everything is awesome when you get those first couple wins, but you still never point out deficiencies in the team. This goes for the media, content creators, social media. And it's not until things start imploding that these people are like, well, I said that this is what happened. No, you didn't. You were wiping your ass with the Giants, for sitting there saying, everything's just great, everything's fine, don't worry about it. We have no problems. And then when problems come up, you're like, well, I said we were going to have this problem. No, when you mention something for a half a second and then go on for a 30-minute tirade about how everything's so wonderful and mention one issue for 30 seconds, that's not addressing the problem. The beat writers do the same thing. They go after people, and they rightfully so call people out, and then they get backlash from social media, and they turn around and say, well, you know what? Maybe I went about it the wrong way. It's the kinder, gentler society. It takes people like Mike Francesa, who is no longer in the media spotlight, to come out and basically say that it was disgraceful for the Giants' late 2-minute drive and a blowout loss. I agree. What were you trying to prove? Tommy DeVito is not the future of anything. He's not the future of anything, and you're sitting there trying to have a 2-minute drive to make the score look more acceptable? So instead of being 49-10, it's 49-17? And you ran 12 plays after the 2-minute warning and called 3 timeouts? Just so you could get a touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys? Francesa was right. He's 100% right. But we don't want to talk about that. Oh, make sure you check out that big video. Daniel Jones, the head coach killer, coming out either Wednesday or Thursday. Don't forget the live stream on Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sunday Giants. And again, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. That'll be awesome.